is not like going from this to that, because it's about change. It's about organizational change. And I'm probably preaching to the converted here. Think about change in your own personal life. I'm going to start walking to work. Well, not me, but you are. I'm going to start a diet tomorrow and I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to make sure that the next time I do a presentation, I'm going to prepare for it in advance. Whatever your goal is, whether it's personal or professional, change is really hard. But magnify that within an institution that's been around for 50 years with 100 people or thousands of people working in a particular way. It's even harder. So in the book, we interviewed institutions that were going in the process of making this transformation, and we also found nonprofits that were born as network nonprofits. It was in their DNA. They were already working that way. And I'll give you some examples. Here's one of my favorites. Surfrider Foundation. Anyone familiar with them? Great. They are surfer dudes around the world who care about the environment, the oceans and the beaches, and want to make sure that they're here for the future generations. And I first heard them speak at the Packard Foundation, where they were talking about their advocacy efforts, both online, or should I say on beach, and offline on beach, and online, and how they were connected. And the guy that was presenting was a guy named Chad Norman, and he has a PhD in surfing economics. He's short, blonde hair. Cue up the Dick Dale. If I had sound effects, I'd cue up Dick Dale. And as he was talking, I started searching on Facebook, and I found their branded presence. And then I found 729 other Facebook pages, each with a different variation on the logo, including the one from New York with the Statue of Liberty doing Hang 10, and the San Francisco one with the wave going under the Golden Gate Bridge. So I asked their executive director, I said, well, how do you feel about all these groups playing with your logo like that? And he paused, and he said, legal doesn't like it too much. But you know what? When we need to mobilize signatures on an online petition, we can get 50,000 signatures on an online petition in 24 hours, so who cares what they do with the logo? So this is an example of a social culture, the ability to let go. So is this just an American thing? You think this is just, in America, made in the USA, that nonprofits can have social cultures, be network nonprofits? Is this idea something that you find in other places of the world? Well, I had a chance to do some training in India, where I got this nice blouse. And I came across an organization called Pratham Books. Anyone familiar with them? They're an amazing organization. Their goal is to get children's books to kids in rural India in their native languages. And so they wrote this wonderful blog post about a group of teenagers from an urban area who did a book drive and brought them out to a couple of villages in a rural area. And so somebody came and left a comment on the blog and said, this is fantastic. I'll donate some money so these kids can do it again. We'll fill up their book cart so they can deliver more books. And so they contacted the newspaper and asked, do you have the cell phone number of the kids? Do you know their names? And they said no. So they took to Twitter, everyone on the organization, including the board, and they started tweeting. And it was retweeted, it was passed along, and within 24 hours, they had the kids' cell phone numbers. And they were able to get the donation for the books and delivered it in the book cart, which is called Boy Car. So yes, so this idea does translate beyond our borders, I think, and I'm looking for more stories. So this is an example of a social culture. Everyone uses social media to spread the mission. But traditional organizations,